What up, Sleep Gang and Falke University? This be your boy Bedtimebuddy back at it again. I know I said I was going to drop this video a hot minute ago, but as some of y'all know, I ran into some personal stuff. Lost my big bro. Rest in peace, Big Will. But yeah. Another reason why I didn't drop this a lot sooner was because some of the opponents that I had here, as you'll see, my first opponent is CoolKid. I didn't want to come off as like I was clout chasing and trying to like build off of someone else's name and stuff like that from the bracket. So anyway, I figured, like, you know, some time passed, so that's not really that important. But plus people know that I make these videos, so it's not that big of a deal. Like, CoolKid's cool. So anyway, yeah, Capcom Online Tournament 2 this is. So this was the second tournament that I entered for online in Capcom. I didn't enter any others after this one. That's when stuff started to get tough with the personal life. So but yeah, my first two opponents were buys once again. Those opponents were Del's on Fire and Truancy. Besides that, I'm gonna shut the hell up and only commentate on the reads and stuff like that, just like in the first video. So I hope you guys enjoy, and thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for sticking with the FU. So round one was like a typical CoolKid rush down type round. He's really good on offense. So in case you guys have never fought CoolKid, his offense is really structured. So he has things that are good against your answers to things. Now granted, I may not remember all of the stuff that happened here very well, so I'm kind of viewing it for the first time in a sense, similar to you guys right now. So it was like right there, I was just kind of using my max range, just keeping them on the end of my attacks. And then the back off here is just so I don't overextend and lose the round to like a back throw and a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So that's why I kind of backed off of him there. Kind of a DMV thing I've been picking up since joining the collective. Even though I'm more of a back foot player, not overextending is very important, especially when you got punk in your scene. So there he had a good read on my button, was able to EX through, and you will find that like that was his big read, but I'm still kind of just like conditioning, trying to get him to jump and stuff like that, trying to keep him on the end of my punches. See, there he threw me out of the corner, so he gave me another full screen of real estate to work with, so that was a big mistake there. So there you got the good parry off, but I'm still just kind of keeping him at range. I'm not trying to do anything big, no big fancy confirms or anything like that. Again, it's like high pressure situation, and we both know that we got a live opponent in front of us. So, you know, me and CoolKid have been fighting each other since the game came out. So we both know that, you know, neither player is a pushover. So we're both kind of like being very cautious. So right there, he got the activation, and I cracked under the pressure, and I paid the price. So we go to the next match here. So I'm right back to trying to keep him on the edge of all of my punches, keep him on the outside as best I possibly can. Definitely don't want to be too close to Abby. But this round I seem to be mounting a little bit more offense, trying to push him to the corner just to kind of show him that, you know, you're not just going to walk me down all game. Every now and then I will actually surprise you with some offense. So looks like I missed the confirm there for the jump over. Alright. So yeah, it's trigger. This is where he can get his big comeback. Looks like I was holding up and got clipped, but he didn't confirm. And V reversal was very important there, especially since it's two hitting V reversal. So here I'm just trying to score one safe hit, and there it is right there. Caught him charging. I just needed to delay an attack so that way it didn't go into the armor. So instead of committing to the jump and kick, in which would have armored through, because he had that read, I released a shot with a slight delay. So here you'll find me just taking slight steps back and keeping him on the edge of my shots again. Here I'm picking off the jump ins, and then I surprised them out of nowhere. So after a long stint of moving backwards, I surprised them with a forward dash. See there, I surprised them with a stomp on the restand. Situations that players aren't used to dealing with while fighting a Falke. But you gotta have a lot of reps in order to have that kind of like fluidity, I guess you could say. So there I spaced out his activation. I figured he would try to activate off something. The only thing that could reach from that range was the slide, so just kind of backed off the slide and then hard punch punish, real clean. So here's the download match. So we both have all the information that we could possibly have about each other. So I know that keeping him on the outside and surprising him with some offense every now and then was working for me. So that's probably what I'm going to try to do again here. So he started off with a really good burst of offense. I just reversal twice, try to get him off just so I can have a fighting chance. No use holding on the meter if you're never going to be able to use it, right? See, so there, surprising him with the forward dashes. Now at this point, he's already had 4+ rounds of me moving backwards. So that's the reason why those 2 forward dashes are effective there. So he's getting good mileage off of the counter for my jump in, but that's not, I don't want to abandon the jump in for that reason, just because he's having some success there, because I want the threat to remain prominent in the matchup. You know, you don't want your opponents to just get so comfortable that they can just do whatever they want. So especially if someone's going to be walking you down, you want them to be on their toes while walking you down. So here I'm keeping him on the edge of my shots. Once again, try not to take long steps back, because that's how you end up in the corner very fast. See, I did a back dash there, realized what I did, and corrected it very, very fast with a forward dash to get the ground back. So right now he's doing a lot better in the nooch. That was a very good jump in, but he didn't get the confirm off. Let's see if I go for a side change here. No, I went for a setup. So if I would have got that setup, I might have been able to stun him, but I don't think I executed it properly. I seem to be slowly crawling back in, but he got his activation this time. And with that, he should get the round. Let's see what happens. Yep, with the guard break. So, online tournament. This is the final match here between me and CoolKid. So, boom, I start the round off very strong with some offense. Usually people kind of shell up in the last round of a last match after a lot of downloads have taken place. I decided I wanted to get right in there and start mixing it up. So here I don't have meter for a DP. So he knew that, so he mounted offense. I decided to go with view reversal instead. It was a good opportunity for him to command grab there. But maybe my jumps have dissuaded him from going for command grabs in that situation. So I managed to get out. Now I'm going to use all the real estate that I have. I have no interest of ending up back in the corner. So he gets his activation there, but he had to use the delay, so I get the restand. So even though he landed a couple blows, I still avoided the worst case scenario. And there, my air shot actually really messed up his dash through command grab. That's a bit of matchup knowledge there, you know what I mean? So here was my next opponent, in which is PreCreation. So here, and with Furians, I like to kind of try to pay attention to their dash habits, their dash and their jump habits. So if I see that they have bad dash habits, I want to pick them off with medium punch and show them like a nice beefy punish. And if they have bad jump habits, then I just want to, like, you know, anti-air and then just use the situation or send them back to neutral. So in this situation, you can see me maintaining a mid-range spacing. I'm not really committing to anything big, so not a lot of 6 HPs and stuff like that. Just kind of maintaining the space so I'm present enough to encourage him to want to do something. So, and that's also my jump range, so fireballs become very risky. This is, in my opinion, the ideal range to fight Urian from. Even though it's dangerous and he's a lot more explosive, as long as you're present, the Urian may feel the need to go do something. The dangerous Urian would be the one that's more patient. So here he's in the corner, but I'm not overextending until I see the fireball, so that's a reaction to the fireball there. But I maintain jump range, so that way the fireball is always risky. So here he lands Aegis, and this is like a dream scenario for him. He gets the side switch, but he didn't get a full setup off. See right there, when he set up that mirror, I should have did Canonin right under it. There was kind of a panic DP. So we all have them, regardless of how much experience you have. You've probably done some panic DPs in your life. All right, so now I'm trying to keep him on the edge of the punches, sticking a few dashes in there just to kind of see. You know, I have a match lead, so I'm kind of checking. You know, how good is his defense? Is he meeting me with buttons? Is he meeting me with blocking? I see how jittery he might become. looks like I wasn't too happy with the results, and I may have lost my download on like when he wanted to move. So you see me now using more compact buttons to try to get my download back. So here it looks like I kind of settled back into my range, and now I'm just pushing him like with my strings. I'm just pushing him back into my range until I find a better hit, just over and over, just repeatedly pushing him into the range that I want him to be at until I find that commit that I want from him, be it a fireball, a jump in, a dash, and then punishing accordingly. So the whole time I'm just staring at him, and the whole time I'm just paying attention to his habits. See, now he's landing some EX knees, but he's probably not taking in the information that the knee has been like very effective. So it's actually a bit of a break for me that those knees were regular knees. I don't have to worry about, that they were EX knees, because it tells me he doesn't believe in the regular knee. So it's probably not going to come. So I'm not even going to waste mental faculties trying to adjust to the knee. But if he would have started representing the regular knee, judging by the way that the match is going, I probably would have had a lot of problems trying to, it would have cost me more mental faculties to worry about the knee. And I would have lost a little bit of my rhythm on his dashes and his jumps. But that was a good round by him. A lot of the knee drops, I wasn't reacting to them well, so he got the round. So there, I clipped the dash. It's like I'm sticking to the game plan here. Yep, clipped another dash. Now you're gonna be stunned or close. Okay. Now I'm just fishing for the stun. He knows it. Looks like he weathered the storm. Yeah. But he took so much damage. It's a significant life deficit. He's probably looking for an Aegis, but then he walked into another button. So 3 dash punishes, and then from there I just get to do whatever I want. So my next opponent is Spaceboy, and this was another one of the players where it was like, I don't want to upload this video because I want to look like I was cloud chasing and shit. So, but again, the videos are for Falke University, so the guys know it's not about cloud chasing. I go to tournaments in real life. But anyway, in this match, I know a lot of people don't like the Sakura match. I don't really understand that. I don't think that it's bad for either character. But again, if you represent the mid-range, in which I didn't do a good job of here because of respect for Spaceboy, if you represent the mid-range, it's very dangerous for her to throw Hadoukens, and it's very dangerous for her to dash as well. So me and Spaceboy had like a little mid-range mini game going on with the fireballs, if I remember correctly, and it got very intense. So there, I thought he would be hungry and try to make a statement at the beginning of the round. So I started the round with a slight walk forward and a medium punch. But as you can see there, I stayed inside of the jump range. This is very important. So I always tell people that Falke isn't so much a zoner. She's more of a mid-range character, because that's a lot of damage, man. Like, those jumping combos hurt. Alright, so we're kind of hanging out in the mid-range. That was a very good walk forward by Spaceboy. He saw me going up. He was like, I'm going to hold forward. This holding forward from mid-range is a really good option against Falke. That's just reactionary jump back knee. It's kind of a bedtime buddy thing. Let's see what kind of setup I go for here. Dive. Yep. And Spaceboy defended beautifully. He probably never even seen that before and just defended it like a fucking champ. So here I'm just trying to keep him in the box. I'm trying to see, like, if he'll commit to something. And I'm trying not to hang myself at the same time. So here doing some fake jump backs to make it look like I'm going to do a jump back shot, and to try to get him to commit to something else. And then he commits to a dash and walks right into the low kick. So here we're having mid-range battle. We're trying to whiff punish each other. But he's slowly winning the corner battle, the position game. So here's where I've realized my back was in the corner. I got to shake something up. It's kind of like a boxer, you get kind of walked around. Somebody takes center stage, and before you know it, you're on the ropes. Similar to that. So that's an early view reversal, but it's a good one because it pushes me to the corner. So now I got to deal with pressure, in which this is where Falke is at her weakest. She can touch you, but you got to be very composed. Like, you got to be willing to take that step forward and then touch your opponent and shoot. Like, instead of panicking in the corner and jumping back like you saw me doing there, you got to really hold your composure and you'll perform a lot better in the corner. So here, Spaceboy was kind of getting a bit of a read on my jump patterns, but I didn't want to commit, since, you know, it's a 3-game set tournament. You don't want to adjust yourself out of the match. Like, sometimes you can let your opponent hold a read and then use it against them later. Like, make the switch when you need to, you know what I mean? Especially if you're scoring damage in other areas. So I didn't want to abandon the jump game. But that was just kind of a maul round, you know, like Falke stuns people very quickly. So basically the rule of thumb is, if Falke gets one jump in on you and has EX bar, and then she hits you again, you're probably going to be stunned. All right, so right there, we got a good walk under. Here I'm trying to use range, but I'm doing a very bad job of controlling where I am on the screen. So Spaceboy once again has me right where he wants me to be. Really good reversal to keep me there. As I did the super to catch the button. Maybe I kind of felt his aggression and decided to go for it. But I also have the match lead, so maybe that made me feel a little more comfortable about going for it. And the thing about Falke's super, remember this, guys. Falke's super will always reset you back to the middle of the screen. Or it'll reverse screen position, depending on where you do it at. But it will get you out of the corner every time. So if you land a hit and while you're in the corner, that was a good screen stop by Spaceboy. If you land a hit while you're in the corner, it might be worth doing your super, so that way you can get out of that situation, particularly if you're not the best at fighting out of the corner. Especially, or if your opponent's really good at fighting you while you're in the corner. So here I'm trying to be a little busier with the mid-range normals, grounded normals. Because Spaceboy is getting really good punishes off of the jump-ins. But, again, I don't want to abandon them because I still want that to be representative of my game. I still want him to waste some of his mental faculties on the jump-ins. So as you can see, like, if I would have abandoned the jump game, I would not have scored there either. So there he tried a dash under, but I understand that he was using walk under for my fireballs and jump in. So I did a neutral jump that I was gonna leave empty, but since he dashed, I used a medium kick, so that way it would catch him on either side. So this is an example of the payout of not abandoning the jump. Now I'm trying to jump even more, even though these are like our non-meaningful jumps. I just want to show him, like, I just want him to focus on that so much that maybe I can steal the game in another way. So there I get a slight delay into the medium punch. Here I was trying to push him to the corner. So you see, like, as in tournament matches, the pressure of the match is constantly shifting, whereas I spent most of this set in the corner. Now Spaceboy's in the corner trying to find a way to land something big. So it's like a role reversal, because obviously Spaceboy wants to stay in the tournament. So, you know, it's interesting. Like, tournament play is just way different, even whether it's online or offline. Offline is a lot harder, but even online is still additional pressure. So there I just landed the chip out. So I was able to get past Spaceboy, so I'm still in winners at this point. And if I win this match, I'm in top 8 winners. So at this point, I'm feeling some heat, because me and Idom have, not only we go back and forth, but Idom always edges me out in, like, the last round in, like, every tournament since, like, 2016. It never fails. I have, like, the Brian F curse with this guy. So I think this was the first time Idom fought my Falke in tournament. So he doesn't know, like, you know, Falke can, like, really shoot under almost every clap, and Idom likes to put clap on the screen a lot. And my far jump in is very strong against clap as well. So Falke is actually not a bad character to use against Idom with his playstyle. But again, it's if you can weather the corner storm, in which Idom's one of the best in the business at pressuring you in the corner. So you're just gonna see a cat and mouse game. but a very not confident one. Because like if I was really feeling good and there was like no history between me and this Lara, then I would feel more comfortable standing in the mid-range and catching the dashes and jumps. Idom will constantly smash his head on the wall until he gets through, until the wall breaks. So he will constantly jump at you, he will constantly dash at you, he will constantly clap in your face until you just crack. And then once you crack, you're just gone for good. So there I was able to run away, literally running, because it's not really spacing. This is more like running. This round I'm starting a little more composed. I was able to get a little confidence under me, so you can see me there with a confident walk forward to catch the dash. See, now I'm holding my space a lot better. So these is what will send you right back down the toilet. When you start getting hit with some command grabs from Idom, your mental game will go right back. When really, instead of looking at it that way, you should look at it as, well, if he's using command grabs, he has to do something very risky in order to try to be in position to win. But it's very hard to control all of those emotions during a tournament. So here I'm back to trying to keep my opponent on the end of my punches. I just need a few more shots to win. And for whatever reason, Idom didn't want to pay the bar to get out of that situation. So I was able to escape with that. Maybe he thought he could super back or something. So I'm up 1-0 against Idom here. If I win, I make it in the top 8, winner side. So just trying to keep some control here. I didn't do anything really wrong, like per se, like especially in that second round. So I'm just trying to kind of repeat here. There, I missed a punish. I'm pretty sure that's a 4-frame punish. I went for like a 6-frame punish. I would have to check the frames on that when it's meaty. There's my first DP. Idom will always give you like your first DP. So here I'm just trying to control. Go for a neutral jump there, thinking for a command grab, but he went for a regular grab, so he was still with an AA. And here, all I got to do is stay on the ground and shoot under those claps. See there, I thought about it, but I'm late. See, I'm not confident. You could just see it. So I had plenty of opportunities to win this round because of the way that he went about trying to win the round. But my tournament nerves didn't allow me to assess the situation with composure and just take what Idom was giving me. Instead, I was looking for something else, and that's what cost me the round there. So now I'm getting into a long set with Idom, and he's getting more cracks at my defense, more cracks at my defensive, like my decision making, and this is not in my favor. But I still have a few reads on his approaches, so it's not far gone yet. Like, it's still within reach. So all I got to do is take it one round at a time here. Not doing too bad on the plus frames. I'm not doing too bad on the spacing. I'm not in full panic mode anymore. But I'm definitely reversing in situations where he's already negative. And, of course, his layered stuff in the corner. One of the best in the business at it. So we move on to the third round. Or the third match, rather. So at this point, like, he's extra fidgety, I'm extra fidgety. So it's gonna be a bit of a like a poop show. But the thing is that Idom's really good at poop show. So yeah, see the little stare down there. We're both looking. I'm looking for a dash. He's looking for a jump. So we did nothing. See here, it's kind of scrambled our way back to the corner. So now I'm back in the Idom zone. Boom. So he missed the command grab, and I could have did something big, but I was so not ready for him to mess up his offense. And that just cost me like the opportunity that I had to regain some momentum there. Maybe I could have, like, I don't know, I could have done something like some EX into side change and activate or something. I could have did something. But yeah, just totally caved there. And here we got round 2. I'm trying to stand my ground. Here I'm trying to like punish some of these elbows that are falling short right in front of me, but I can't catch them. So you're just seeing like the the deterioration of patience is like slowly wearing down here, and it's all defensively because I keep ending up in these bad situations. So there, I just needed some reprieve, and managed to change the sides, but I don't remember if I pulled this round out or not. Nah, it was like he got the jump in. So the basically the wall broke. So here I had to fight against CoolKid again in loser side. So this was whoever wins makes it in the top 8 losers. So at this point, loser gets 9th place. So I'm trying to use a similar strategy from before, but I definitely came into this match with some IDOM damage. I have a tendency, even when I train with IDOM, after I train with him, I go on a slump, because fighting him is just way different than fighting other people, especially in tournament. So anyway, as you can see, like, I'm not controlling space nearly as well as I did the first time I fought CoolKid. I kind of marched myself straight into the corner, and I'm not fishing for side change like I was when we first started. So I'm not recognizing my turn here on these restands. It's just really, really bad.
Looks like I've got more horsepower.
So this rematch with CoolKid, I mean, I'm not gonna spoil it, but anyway, you guys will see. So here I'm trying to keep him on the edge of my punches, but the thing is that by now I have so much fatigue that I can't fully process like the full extent of my move list, like the full extent of my spacing. What is he trying to do to me? Everything. Like, I expended so much of my mental faculties fighting IDOM that now CoolKid is like kind of picking apart like a weakened version a weakened version of me. It's crazy because we had just fought, but then we fight here and I get a similar CoolKid. He might have like made some adjustments, but my ability to read what he's doing is just not there. So there, I wasn't even remotely ready for the activation. I actually got crush countered by the slide, and then he shows us that he has VT2. So that was his adjustment, was to bring VT2. But he might have won that round much the same with VT1. So we'll move on to match 2. So I'm using 6 HP way too much. Like, way too much. Definitely not supposed to use it this much. So here I get a stagger off, get a little bit of extra chip. He gets a gorgeous whiff punish. DPs, look, more stuff that I didn't really use in the first match. I was using more of my delays than the DPs. So you DP against that guy and you're wrong, that's a very quick and easy round for someone like CoolKid. So you move forward into the final round. So we're kind of moving around. Boom, anti-air trades happens. Move forward. Using more 6 HP. Like, it hasn't been punished enough. I need to walk forward and use my medium kick shot, but I just cannot summon. I can't summon the switch up. It's like all I have is this damn 6 HP. So I'm just using 6 HP in anti-airs and hoping that I can beat a world-class player with it at this point. So now I'm in the corner. Again, IDOM, CoolKid, 2 of the best corner pressure players. So now I'm just getting clapped up. I'm probably going to do a super. Oh, not even. Don't even get a chance. And the rest is history. Thanks for checking out the video, y'all. Make sure y'all hit like and subscribe. Bringing it back FU. So we got FU and we got FU2 with Frost. So if y'all like Mortal Kombat, make sure y'all hit that up too. And make sure y'all check out the Bedtimebuddy FU merch. Glad to be back, y'all. Hit y'all up next time. 1.